Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders Without podcast. Today, I have a very special guest, one of my good friends, as well as one of the alumni from the April class of my 3-week launch your podcast challenge, the one unique and wonderful Karen. Super happy to have her. She has a very, very powerful story, a beautiful heart, and an even more inspiring message. And that's why I couldn't wait to have her on my podcast to share her story. So, Karen, my friend, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Payman. My actual author name now is Kari Starr.
Okay.
Yeah, I was told our little names don't show up in the corner. So is that true?
Okay. Your name actually shows here, Karen Grove. I see it here.
Yes, well, I'm both of those people, but Kari Starr is my official author name and podcaster name. So
the artist name. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. So I don't know if you remember the very first time we talked. When I talked about my podcast, I said that the kind of conversation I like to have on my podcast is to have a look under the hood, so to speak, to see what's in your heart, to have a heart-to-heart conversation, hence the name Leaders with a Heart. Are you ready to start to do that?
Ready.
All
ready.
Right.
Let's do it.
All right. So first of all, for people that do not know you, tell us, as a person, as a human being, we're going to talk about your business, your impact, all that later on. But first and foremost, as a person, human being, who's Karen? Who's Kari Starr?
Oh, I'm a, let's see. I would say, I'll just start rolling with whatever comes up.
Exactly.
I absolutely adore art. When I was little, I wanted to be an artist.
Wow.
So that's become part of the love of what I'm doing now, which is working in ecstatic sexuality, which I would consider combining the divine with sexuality. Yeah. So back to the other story. So I always freaking loved art. That was a thing for me. I became a cake decorator for 30 years because Spirit told me that since I was 17 and discovered sacred sex, I was going to be awoken at midlife. And they basically said, run along and do anything you want for the first half. So I said, oh, I'm going to do art. I'm going to be a cake decorator. You know, I'm kind of a large lady. I love to eat sweets. And oh boy, did I create some amazing sweets. And I got to playing around with teasing society. You know, whenever I saw sexual repression, I would start kind of digging in and playing with people and trying to get them to open up and talk. And I'd make them laugh and have fun. Oh, and laughter, I have noticed, is my number one. You know, I can have high states of consciousness, connection with the divine, all this great stuff. But where there's laughter, I'd rather be there. I'd rather be laughing.
Beautiful.
It's crazy. It's just joyful. It's like the highest frequency, you know. So
yes,
I'm not a great comedian, you know, but I just act silly and try to get people to laugh.
Absolutely. You know, laughing is the greatest medicine in the world. I actually read a while ago a quote by a doctor that said, if every doctors in the world were to prescribe 1 hour of mandatory laughing per day per person, within 30 days, 95 to 99% of all the ailments would be gone. Because what causes us to get sick is the stress. When you laugh and smile, that makes your body, the environment inside of you, you know, not good for stress. It makes it toxic for stress. So please go ahead, do whatever you can to smile, laugh, even if it's to watch some Tom and Jerry or Speedy Gonzales, whatever cartoon you like. I still watch them, seriously.
Speedy Gonzales,
I still watch them. Pew, pew.
It's been years. Oh my God, that's funny. The reason I was going like this is because I was just thinking that when my favorite, although I'm all into this sacred connecting with the divine and believing it's amazing and worthy of doing, absolutely. But my highest moments are when I'm making love and laughing my ass off.
That's a fantastic combo. Absolutely. Yes, very double.
That means you're just sharing the highest joy. You've got sex and laughter together. Maybe I'm going to have to change my whole program now.
Sex and laughter.
Thanks,
that could be an amazing title for a podcast. Sex and laugh. You know?
Yeah, they say all the gurus, you know, that and the angels, they're light because they laugh. right? And
that's
anytime, like you said, taking things seriously makes you heavy and dark and stressed.
yeah.
And if you can just see an element of laughter in it, boy,
That's
of
beautiful
lightness.
because these two together can be the double whammy of happiness. The double whammy of happiness. That can be another beautiful title for a podcast, a book, a documentary, whatever you want, you know?
Yes.
Anyways,
Yes.
now since we're coming on talking about happiness, tell us now more specifically, what makes you happy?
Oh gosh. What makes me happy?
As a
Oh my
person?
gosh. Well, I have to share that today, my mom is in a nursing home. Bless you. My
Thank you.
mom's in a nursing home and she's been sad. She's feeling like she doesn't have any direction, or any inspiration in life. And I started creating a project with her.
Beautiful.
And she's coming to life. And it's, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever felt closer to her in my whole life.
What's the project?
You start crying. I'm a super sensitive person.
Beautiful.
It seems there's something on every video I do that makes me start crying. Oh my gosh. So just excuse me. I'm
beautiful.
sorry.
No worries. What's the project about?
Well, it's about creating a charity, and I want to put my mom in charge of finding the needy people, signing up churches, finding the needy people and getting them the help that they need. So there's a big fund coming available for that. And I said, Mom, would you like to be part of this? And she says, I've been thinking about it all night.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I said, our lineage, our heritage and our family is a lot of charitable women. And wow, I've never, felt that before. So for me, reestablishing connection with my lineage, with my family and everything is super beautiful and powerful. A lot of people may already have that. I was the black sheep of my family. I did weird metaphysical, spiritual, sexual stuff. Nobody understood or wanted to talk about it or hear about it. And it's pretty much the same story. So I had trouble fitting in with my family. So this moment with my mom was just, still feeling it. It's beautiful. I know it's going to go up from here. So this missing thing about relating deeply with my family, it's all starting to resolve. All the energies of the world are shifting. They're shifting sexually. They're shifting the divine feminine, which is the heart. Everything's coming forward. Payman, you're just an example of that because your work is with the heart, leaders with heart. And then who shows up? All the women. You thought you were going to work with men, and then all the women showed up because they're knowing that it's time to bring forward what's in their hearts.
Absolutely beautiful. Hey,
and it's the same with sex. It's absolutely the same with sex.
Listen, keep me posted about this project with your mother once you're more advanced. Once you're actually, it starts taking shape. I would be honored to have both you and your mother on the podcast.
Together. You're just the sweetest thing.
Seriously, because now you're speaking to my heart, because I love, showcasing people who are doing good out there. This is what my podcast is about, to showcasing people who are doing good, just to inspire, so we can inspire together other people and other entrepreneurs to do good as well. So please, I would be honored to have you both back, you and your mother.
Oh God, you would love that. Oh my gosh.
Seriously, absolutely.
I'm glad I wear glasses, because I'm
serious.
crying all the time.
Listen, hey, I'm serious. I'm not just saying this just to be nice. I mean it. I'm serious.
I know you mean it. And the world's changing, and we're finding people that our heart frequencies are matching and vibrating together. And being with you, Payman, I just have to throw a plug out for your work. It really kicked off me getting integrated into people that are doing heartfelt work. I was in a project before this with the champ, Katana.
Oh, the champ. Yes, the champ.
And I wasn't integrating at all. I wasn't doing it. And I was paying a lot of money, and she brought me to you, and all of a sudden everything fit. And I started participating and doing the things that got me out in the world. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I love your work.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm also grateful and honored to have crossed paths with you, because I love your energy. You're such a bundle of joy and happiness. It's always positive to be around you because you always bring the laughter and positivity and smiling in people. So this is why I just enjoy talking to you. So thank
Well,
you for that.
thank you.
No, seriously, amazing. Now, speaking of smiling, tell us, what makes you smile?
Oh. Well, I was, just thinking about my work and when you said that, and my work takes me to couples that are at whatever stage in their relationship. It doesn't matter if they're madly in love or if they're thinking about breaking up. And I get them doing this technique that I discovered, and I personally didn't discover. I noticed it. And I said, this has got to go around the world, because when people do it, couples do it, the woman connects with her husband in a way that has been completely missing for most of their lives, if not all their lives.
Wow.
All the feelings that we as women expected to have with our relationships, suddenly we can feel them. The highest heights, depths of heart connection.
Beautiful.
So I don't just focus on the heart, because when the woman's heart comes back into the mix and she's feeling the things that she thought she'd never feel, she gave up hoping she would feel and just tried to live without it. When that comes back and she is so fulfilled and satisfied, oh my gosh, she's going to give back to her husband 3 times as much love and appreciation, because women love sex.
Well,
what they
men,
don't
men
love,
too.
what'd you say?
Men too. Trust me on that.
But they don't love so much sex without heart.
Yes.
So my whole thing is bringing back the simple ease of a couple already committed to staying together, already together and wanting to resolve their problems. And when I give them this simple little thing, oh, sheesh.
You know, what you just said just reminded me of a very popular Brazilian song. And the song says, sex is sport, love is luck.
Love is luck?
Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
Gosh, that could go all kinds of ways. I was thinking about love is luck. I was thinking, no, it's not. It's doing this technique.
Yes. Want to make love part of your life? Talk to Karen. Yeah.
So here's the thing. The technique is something that people in Tantra do. For those of you that know about Tantra, it's very common in Tantra, and it's starting to make its way into swinging circles. Not that I've been into swinging circles, but I would go maybe.
Never
I don't
too
know.
late.
But in
Never
the
too late.
circles,
Never too late.
I'm hearing that it's making its way into the swinging circles, and they're incorporating it. And when I learned this technique, I'm getting a little stuck in my thinking process here. Wait. So this isn't something that belongs to any group. It doesn't belong to swingers. It doesn't belong to Tantra people, but it is the thing that if everybody in the world knew it, this brings back polarity. That is, the woman feels a deeper sense, an ultimate sense of being female. And she, oh my gosh, I've never seen any woman not love it and swoon in it and say, oh my gosh, I'm not mad anymore, because now I've got what I wanted. And our society had taught men not to do it and didn't allow us the simple technique that would allow it to happen. And so it's an embrace using the chakras and particular hand positions. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. And when I tell the guys how to do it, they're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's really as simple as clicking the ruby red slippers together, and using this on their wives. And oh my gosh. So what happens is the honeymoon feeling comes back. all the ultimate feelings that we want in our romantic situations come back. And they may have been gone for decades. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. Ready?
Sure.
This is one of my favorites. I was asking some clients that I taught to tell me a story. They typically weren't responding and giving me testimony. So this one guy calls me and says, Kari, you wanted a testimony? I got one. I said, okay. And he goes, my wife invited me to hop into bed and take a nap with her. And I said, sure, in the afternoon. So we did. And I held her in your hand position number 1. She fell asleep for 15 minutes. And when she woke up, I held her in hand position number 2. And about 30 minutes later, now mind you, she didn't know anything about this technique. She didn't know what he was doing. So 30 minutes later, he said, all hell broke loose. He says, we went at it and just, she had 3 massive, can I say the word O?
Sure, absolutely, yes.
Orgasms. She had 3 massive orgasms. And we were both blown away. And afterwards, we decided it'd been 17 years since we felt that way.
Whoa.
Now, he knew how to do the hand positions. She had no clue what he was doing. Now, I've never heard of anyone taking as long as 30 minutes to get there. But when the woman doesn't know what's going on, it takes her longer because she's going, what am I feeling? What's happening? But it still works. So I've been teaching a lot of men, and I want to get more couples involved because I want the women to know. And the reason is because when the women know, they can ask for it. My editor of my book, Andrea, she recently got married, and I did a podcast with her, my first one, and she said that if I'm laying around on the couch, just got some extra time, but I'm not in the mood and I want to be in the mood. Now I just say, honey, come over here and let's hug. And he goes, okay, all right. Because she knows in a few minutes, she's going to be good to go with a hug. Now, this thing, women have known about it. They tried to tell men, but women didn't have a voice until now. I heard that I was killed many times in past lives for trying to teach this. Whoa. It wasn't time. Because it brings women back into balance. When they feel their heart received in the man's heart, the war's over. They're not fighting anymore. They're happy to be women. They don't need to be CEOs. They don't need to run businesses. They can keep running businesses if they want. They can do whatever they want. But when they come together, then it's time for the polarity to get into place, for women to be fully feminized and have their heart energy received. And it goes in a circular thing through the man down to the genitals and back up. The man stays in his cock power. He receives the woman's heart energy. So he's, men that are afraid of acting gay by being engaged in the heart, they don't have to worry about that. They're pulling it in. And then it goes down and back through their cock and back into the woman. And he's sending love that's coming through her into him down to, and it's a deeply loving, healing experience. This can get rid of a lot of traumas. I haven't got scientific evidence on it, but because most trauma, it can happen in many parts of the body. There's a lot of sexual trauma that gets trapped down in the genitals, but the heart is like the clearing center, because this is where we get hurt. How can you hurt me like that? How can you treat me like that? This is a heart issue. And so the energy goes in here, it gets powered up, and it starts circulating, going down through the genitals, back up this way. So there's another pattern there that I don't talk about in my book. There's a lot of energetic patterns. Ask a Tantra person, right? But I'm starting with the foundational one that when every couple gets hold of this one simple thing, they can take their lovemaking sky high into places they've never felt before. Am I talking too much?
No, that's fascinating. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but now let me finish also by asking you, the first series of questions. Now, we talked about happiness. We talked about what makes you come alive. Now tell us, what makes you sad and angry?
Sad and angry. It's when information is intentionally messed up and people are lied to. The truth is blocked and lives are lost. And oh boy.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it bothers me. I go up in a flame.
Me too. Especially with what's been going
I'm
on
sure.
in the yes, but
Yeah, go ahead.
especially with what's been going on in the world for the past few years, but that's not the topic of this podcast. We can do an entire show just on that. Absolutely.
Yes, I've had to do a lot of trauma release lately, with pent up anger. And it wasn't just from the last couple of years, it's been for a long time. And, I'm sure men have trouble with that too, but women especially have been stopped from communicating, so they would tell their husbands, is going back to where we were before, they tried to tell their husbands and men in general, I want to cuddle. Men go, I don't. And the women go, but I do. Well, I don't. And the men would win out and the women often went without cuddling. But now.
So tell me, how important is it cuddling from a woman's perspective? Have I opened the can of worms?
It's really the point. The point is, the yin yang.
Yes.
That spins. Okay. There's a ball of energy here and a ball of energy here. And opposite magnetics. Opposites cannot be opposites because in the wholeness of source reality, they can't be separate. So these two halves that have been separated, let's call them male and female, are now, they need to come back together. And this is what creates the energy of our universe. Nikola Tesla has quotes on that. I looked them up and put them in my book.
Wow.
Woohoo. He said, I would give up every discovery in my life that I ever did, because discoveries, there's always a new one to replace the old one. He says, but this discovery of the rotating magnetic energy fields will last forever, and the mystery will continue to unfold because it is the energy of the universe. Now, sex has been misrepresented because, like, women feel that sex and love are not disconnected. Men are taught purposefully to separate them because the love is an emotion, and men are taught to separate that so that they can be rational, linear, intelligent, and solve problems. And you don't want emotions getting in the way of those problems. So it makes you less competent to be too emotional, right? So men separate emotion and sex, love and sex. Women can't. Our power is in our heart. This is the divine feminine, the Mary Magdalene, the Mother Mary, the heart, the purity, the sacredness, the innocence, all comes from the heart. And this has been killed off in society. And now it's coming back. It's everything to the woman. She had to give it up. We tried to become CEOs. We tried to become men just to get in your heart. We can give all that shit up that we don't want to do, that we're not good at. Too much pressure, too much stress. We can, if we want to give that up, we can give that up. We feel the polarity return. Oh, we got into a man's heart. Oh, that's all I ever wanted my whole life. Now I can go back to being a woman. Oh, this man loves my heart. He accepts me. He appreciates me. That's everything to a woman. Just like the man, his ball of energy is in the genitals. He feels his entire life runs through that power. And all the good stuff in life has to do with having that relationship or having that ability to fulfill that incredible feeling he gets at the genitals. And the woman gets the same satisfaction and fulfillment here. We can have 1,000 orgasms, but it's never going to match that romantic love feeling in our hearts, which has been missing. And when that's there, guess what? The woman wants to make love like a maniac. guys.
You know, one thing I noticed that's very powerful what you said after living around the world, 10 countries, 4 continents, talking to countless men and women. The one thing that men want in a woman is a woman that is feminine, that embraces her being a woman. You know, that's the ultimate kryptonite or the ultimate attraction thing for a man. If she's a woman that embraces and not represses her femininity and tries to be like one of the boys, that's a woman that will always win it. Even she may not be the most beautiful, the most sexiest, but that femininity, that there's two things that are absolutely irresistible. One, the woman that is really feminine, and two, a woman that is genuinely happy, not a downer. These are the two things that will win a man's heart like there's no tomorrow. Absolutely. From my perspective, and after talking and living around the world and connecting and you know, dating women from all kinds of, you know, directions of the world, this is the one trait that I noticed that absolutely I cannot resist. And most men also that I know that I talk to cannot resist. A woman that is,
we're opposites. And that magnetic pull can't be resisted. And if we're blocking our hearts, keep holding back because we're afraid, you know, then it's not happening. We're not letting it go through. And oh my God, when the polarity is happening, there's nothing more beautiful in the whole world, is there?
You know, we're not meant, just like in business, we're not meant to compete. We're meant to complement each other. We complement each other, you know, a man and woman in the business, in any relationship, friendship, business, love, whatever. You're not there to compete with your partner. You're there to complement each other, work together as a team, because I have things that you don't have and vice versa. But when we bring them together, just like I always keep on saying, 1 + 1 is not 2, but 1 + 1 is, sure, and math is 2, but in real life is 1 + 1 is 11, because it exponentially explodes in a beautiful way.
And you know what I say?
Yes.
The female plus the male, 1 + 1 is infinity.
Yes.
Because absolutely. Listen, guys, when that energy is connected and moving like it's supposed to, the energy of the universe between the male and female, we are that energy of the universe. We enter infinity. And you could say it's through the heart, but maybe it was cock power that was missing. And then that was blocked. But now it's spinning in its fullness in infinity. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
You know why? Because when a man sees a woman that fully embraces femininity, that awakens the masculine, the ultimate masculine in him. He's not going to hold back. He wants to be as manly as he can, because he's seeing his woman to be as womanly as she can. Then obviously they want to be the best version of each other, not only for each other, but for the partner, for the other person. So by a woman being as embracing wholeheartedly a feminine aspect, she's going to make her man glow, and together they will glow like they will become, just like in the song, it's cheesy line in songs, to become one, you know.
That's what this circle does. I don't care how masculine you feel, ladies, when you do this embrace, like I teach, you will drop into your feminine receptive mode. You will feel the things that I'm talking about. And I teach the men how to care for you as you submit and surrender.
Surrender, that's a key word, yes.
Which is your joy to do in this state, because it's what you're made to do.
Yes,
and it's
amen.
not bad. It doesn't mean you're less than the man. No. It means that's your part. You're the earth. You this is a big story. It's my whole book. You're the earth, and you receive the sun's rays, and you lay there and receive them, and he delivers them, his energy, his fire, his passion, his power. And I'll tell you what, I let women read my stories and think, oh, they're so horny, hot and excited. And it's about the receptiveness. And women, in order to be receptive, you got to not resist at all. And I've seen the men turn on, just like you said, they turn on in a way they've never felt in their life.
Crazy.
it's they're not controlling themselves anymore. They know that the female wants them and it's time, and a little switch goes on in their brain and suddenly, wow, they are the sun god. They are the warrior, they are the masculine, and they know their job. It's in every man and it's in every woman. And it's so beautiful. It's like you are the one God, and she is the God and goddess. And it's so huge and so beautiful.
Absolutely. I love that.
You
I
have
love
to,
that.
and this simple little hug is going to get you there so you can feel it. And when your husband or your partner slips into that powerful mode, the switch goes on. I'm telling you, what I see is they are at the same time humble at the power they have and the connection into their masculine energy that perhaps they've never felt. So it's a gift to the men also. This is a return of the heart power. This is return of the natural man and woman, which has been beat out of us for decades of mental crap, right? Stories and movies and blah. It's just a disaster out there. But the war's over, ladies and gentlemen. The war's over.
Let's celebrate.
And we won.
Let's have fun. Absolutely. Let's make each other happy and fulfilled. Indeed. Now, beautiful. I love that. Now, let's move on. I know you love traveling. Let me take you now down a different type of traveling, down memory line. Go back to when you were a young girl growing up. You know, when we're kids, people around us ask us, so Karen, people around us, like, you know, parents, relatives, teachers, friends ask us, so Karen, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer? What was your answer as a young girl? Wow.
English teacher. First, I wanted to be a school teacher because I love drawing on chalkboards. I wanted to teach. I had little kids over, you know, that were 4 years old, and I was 6, and I was the teacher drawing on the chalkboard. Yep. In high school, I wanted to be an English teacher. I freaking loved words because I could feel and sense their metaphysical meaning, their spiritual meaning. And I would be like, oh.
So was English your favorite subject in school?
Yeah. English, art. Yeah.
Was there any subject you did not like at all?
I was not good at reading. You know why? I was always a smarty pants, and I was always at the top or near the top of my classes, except reading. I was really slow. Why? It's like I had to connect with the imaging as I was reading. And so I was very slow, and it made me upset. I could be so smart at everything else but reading. What else wasn't I good at? Oh my God. Oh my God. Number one bad. Record keeping.
Oh, okay.
In high school, I took an accounting course with my girlfriend. She aced it, and my mind doesn't work that way. They said, you need to drop down and take a lesser course. No, I have to have the college placement accounting because I'm smart. Oh my God. I don't know if I failed that or got a C or a D. Oh, stubborn. I'm very stubborn.
That's good. Yeah, we need to be. Now, what was your very first job?
Wait, I want to go back a moment.
Sure.
And I will tell you that. But these are fun questions to look at. Okay, so when I discovered metaphysics, it was like, okay.
It was like orgasm of the soul?
Now I'm a reader. I read everything on metaphysics I could find. I was like, hallelujah. Why didn't they give me metaphysical books in school? I would have read all these. I didn't know they existed, right? I knew Spirit told me that when I was 15, everything in the world was lies. And I know a lot of people have got that download recently. I got mine when I was 15. And what was the point of studying all this crap when I was already told it was based in lies, a foundation of lies? So it's like, I don't want that. Where am I going to get information? You know, so I started getting it from the metaphysics, that kind of stuff. So I was so happy. I was like, oh, it's not that I hate reading. I'm not interested in anything. except
Exactly.
metaphysics. So,
Mhm.
okay, now the other question. Okay, my first job, let's see. I was an entrepreneur as a child.
Really? So either
I
the type
made
that had
pot holders.
did you have your lemonade stand when you were 6?
Yes. Oh my God, I had lemonade stands. I
Wow.
I made pot holders and I went door to door selling pot holders.
Cookies.
I did the Girl Scout cookies. Oh God, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur for sure. But I wasn't good at it. I could never make a profit. It's like my little pot holder would cost me $1.50 to make, and I'd charge 99 cents. And my dad says, "Well, you're not making a
Yeah,
profit."
that doesn't.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean? I can't charge people $2 for this."
Then you need to find
I
someone to buy it cheaper from.
So I have the terriblest time charging people for what I do, which that's not uncommon either, right? You know?
Yes. Are you still feeling that effect of that now in whatever service you're offering? Sometimes you lowball yourself.
I'd say yeah, I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble getting started and charging people, but it's more a matter of getting all the technology in place. I have to record some classes. I want to record classes on the Great Circle of Desire so people can just sign up and go through them. So it's becoming clearer since I got into your class that you got to get the machine moving a little bit before you start feeling what's needed next. And what's needed. Oh, now I see how it's coming together.
The easiest way to record your content is with Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Just like me, or you can just fire up your Zoom account, just talk on your computer, and once you're done, Zoom is going to automatically extract the file for you and prepare it for you, and then you can upload it straight to your website, YouTube, or if you want to build a membership site, that's all there for you.
Maybe you should have a Zoom class on Zoom. Teach us how to use it more. I'm telling you, I'm so overwhelmed with all the different technologies. I'm just
listen. Don't. Yes. I'm not attacking either. Don't let all the other shiny object come into you and try to tempt you, entice you. I'm a big fan of the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And for that reason, I use only Zoom for now. Maybe later on, I'll use other systems. Even for you, don't worry about any other systems. Just Zoom. Zoom is all you need. Just zoom, just like the commercials, zoom.
Well, that's new. I had somebody telling me I could do everything on Calendly.
Well, Calendly, yes, Calendly, you need Calendly to book the appointments. Calendly doesn't record, you can't do the videos, but you can combine the two together. For example, you can book your appointments on Calendly and then record your calls and your content on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And then from
Excellent.
Zoom, then you upload it to your website, your platform, or if you have a membership website, then you can easily upload it from your computer into that platform. But that's for another conversation. Let's not get too distracted here. Let's get back to the topic here. So,
wait, that is a good topic because, as I told you before, and you agreed with me, in life, you can be having great sex and doing your thing, but are you accomplishing or striving for, maybe that's not the right word, are you engaged in a purpose that you feel is mighty and committing your life to it? Like you are, but I was kind of flatlining it, which is almost like saying going down, downhill, until I got revved up and moving in the right direction toward podcasting and getting my voice out there. So, in being happy as a couple, that's what I was going to bring it around to. Are you doing what your heart says you need to accomplish before you die? I knew I had to get out there and work with people in the public, and I got my little thing here, which you suggested we all buy. I felt like I was starting phase 2. I'd had 13 years of the first phase. Now it's time for phase 2. And I was so excited about this thing. I know it's a phallic symbol, but it was like, yes, I'm finally going to enter phase 2, So when I was flatlining it, I was having a hard time staying excited about life. And if you're a couple and you're flatlining and you're not feeling enthusiastic and you're blaming your partner, it's like, are you on the side of me or this side?
I'm in the middle.
Get with payment. Because if you're a person that wants to get your voice out about something, learn from payment, and it'll get you started. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wow. Let's get back to where we're talking just a couple of minutes ago. We're talking about go back to when, from the time you left school to now. How would you describe your path? Would you say your path was pretty much straightforward, smooth sailing? Or was it more like a roller coaster, turns and twists along the way?
Weird as heck. I still think of myself as this fat little intellectual girl in school, very shy. It's like, that seems like the real me. It's the way I started out anyways. And to think that, when I was a teenager, what I did is I asked spirit to move through me during sex, because I thought if there's a force that created my body and keeps everything working, regenerates cells, it's really intelligent, right? Maybe all the keys and secrets to having sex are in here, and I just need to get my intellect out of the way and let it happen. So that's what I did. I started having ecstatic experiences. The number one time, all I did is I kind of let go and let things happen naturally without me forcing it. So I was just open, relaxed, and feeling, and I had an insanely ecstatic experience, and more of them by doing the same thing. And that really opened up a whole, that was it. I promised God I would tell the world about that at 17, and then between 17 and about 46, 48, I struggled a lot. I had almost no relationships. I got fatter. I felt less attractive. I felt like being fat was the scourge of the world, and that no man would ever want me. And so I better set my sights down low. So I would go after men that I thought were a lot lesser than me. Big mistake. I should have gone for a guy like me that was chubby. Anyway, so I was a mess. Oh my gosh. And so I consider myself, a poster child that spirit set me up, saying at 17 years old, will contact you at midlife and you're going to start your real work. Well, I didn't know what it was. They didn't tell me. I don't know if it was a group or a single. Anyways, I didn't know what I was doing. They said, do whatever you want for the first half of your life. And that's what got me to become a cake decorator, because I chose something fun. I'm like, well, I'm just going to have fun. Right. And so I got involved in the art of it. I made erotic cakes. I made wedding cakes. I made penis cakes. I made vagina cakes. I made crazy erotic cakes when everyone else in my bakery, there were 13 or more decorators. They were all afraid of the erotic cakes. I did them all. And they saw me having fun and making extra money. And then everybody started doing erotic cakes. So that's the kind of impact, that I had, even though I wasn't engaged in my life mission yet.
That can be an amazingly profitable business. Erotic cakes, business.
I'm in Arizona and we still don't have one of those bakeries here. I told Spirit, I'm going to do an erotic cake business here in Phoenix. And I called the big local store that had like 5 or 6 outlets. And I was doing cakes for them here and there, spotting, here and there. And I said, I need you to build me a bakery. We're going to make a fortune. And they said, no. So they called me back a few years later. By then I had a 2-year-old son. And they said, we want to build you a bakery. And I said, too late. Now I have to be concerned about my son. I don't want to have him to suffer the brunt of the society that would judge him and me, about doing such a thing. So no. So we still don't have a bakery here.
Okay. Well, it's never too late, because I can honestly see this as a tremendous, phenomenal business.
Well, I don't want to support the white flour sugar industry. I don't want to be in it.
Yes.
I already got a problem with eating.
Can you make it without flour, sugar, and all that, like in a
No,
more
that's
organic
really
way?
expensive. Really
Well,
expensive to
then
do
you
it
can
that way.
target the people that are going to be paying a premium for that. There's a market for that. People will pay premium money for that. Trust me on that. So, for
Well, I know
example,
there's somebody
how,
that
how much?
charges
How much?
$200 or $300.
So, how
for a
much were
little
you
cake.
selling your cakes, for example?
I think the most expensive went for maybe 75 to 100.
All right.
But that was after the store marked them up, like doubled the price.
Okay. So now, if you make it with premium material with no sugar, no anything fatty or anything, then you can charge at least 200, $300 for that. And there are people, there's a market for that will pay without batting an eye. You will have a lineup.
Well, right now I'm living in a small place without a kitchen, so that ain't going to happen. There's a chance in the future, but payment, I want to teach the entire world how to do this hug. I want stadiums full of people. If you're out there and you've got a festival, I will teach everyone at that festival how to do the Bliss hug. I don't know, we'll call it a Bliss hug. I got so many names for that thing, but it's the circular energy. And oh my God, the energy that comes from that is like a massive frequency of love, this wave, and it would go through the festival, through the stadium. And when you focus that on love and peace and healing and light, good Lord, the power is ridiculous. You know, in the Matrix, how they all got in that underground place and they all started dancing erotically, you know, and they were dancing to be successful at war, right? To overcome the bad guys. You know, that kind of power we're not taught about. I always imagine I went to start a world prayer when COVID started. I said, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And the answer was, do your world prayer. And I started it, but I stopped. But when I started, I had a few couples. And when we laid down to get erotically stimulated, busy is a good word. Yeah. You know, we weren't watching each other or nothing, but I had this idea of doing the circle of desire embrace. So I taught everyone how to do that. And then it was time, if they wanted to get, you know, hoochie coochie with each other, they could, focusing on love and peace and all this stuff. So I laid down and I thought, okay, this is weird, but here we go. You know, I had my vibrator there. The moment I started, I had a vision of soldiers laying down their guns. Don't fall asleep. Wake up there. Wow. You're falling asleep on me.
No, I'm not.
And my mistake was thinking, world peace is coming. I don't have to do this. That was the mistake. Spirit was trying to show me that what you're doing is creating peace. Because when men are happily engaged sexually, they won't go to war because life is too good. When they're not getting what they need, might as well go to war. It's more fun than this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so powerful.
Pardon me.
No problem. That's beautiful. Wow. Now, you know, there's a saying, I'm sure you heard it: change your story, change your life. When you're at your lowest, how do you change your story? And by story, I mean what we tell ourselves in our head all day long. So when you're at your lowest, how did you change your story to change your life? Did you do it with the help of friends, family, mentors, books, videos? Tell us a process you used to change your story to change your life.
Well, I've had recently to talk to God because I had some low moments. But I would say the really dramatic moment came when I had lived my life up till midlife, and Spirit had told me, we're going to wake you up at midlife, right? Spirit had tapped on my head, got my attention, and told me to get out of my job. And I'm like, what? Okay. You know, I argued a bit and then I got out because they told me I was going to get fired if I didn't get out. So I struggled for 2 years. I went through my entire 401k and I was broke. That seems to be getting me to listen to God, is when I have no money. It's like bottom of the barrel. I wasn't going to be able to pay the bills at all. And that gets me down on my knees, So at that time, I was like, I have no money. I don't know where to go. You told me to get out of my job. It wasn't so that I could be like this. What was it? What did you want of me? Okay, that's the key. Asking God, Spirit, intently. You're broke. You're not trying to get in the way. You're just listening. What is it you want me to do? And the answers started coming to me. And that's when, from 17 years old, now get this, you guys, from 17 years old till Spirit tapped me on the head at the bakery, I had had sex about that many times.
Wow.
And I'm putting up 5 for those of you that are on podcasts. Maybe 10. It could have been 10 times. But it was sad for me. And I looked back and I said, me that had the glorious, ecstatic, divine experiences at 17 years old and knew what to teach the world, to go 25 years with almost no sex. What the heck am I doing with my life? God gave me a gift and I shit on it. And I said, I am taking back my sensuality forever. I will never let it go. I will honor it and treasure it the rest of my life. And from there, that commitment to God made my life take off. And I was at the bottom at that moment. So, it's like a lot of us, we're so stubborn that we have to get to that place where we're so scared that we have to turn to God, or just stop the left brain domination and listen to the flow and where it's taking you.
One thing that I noticed is that, why do we only talk to God when we down? Why not all the time when you're grateful, when you're having success and all that? Why do we always think of God when we at the lowest? We need to be thinking of him all the time.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought recently. Like I said, when COVID started, and I said, what do you want me to do, God? Oh, start your prayer.
Yeah.
I took it kind of lightheartedly. It's like, oh, well, somebody else is creating peace. I could see that. I don't need to do this anymore. I didn't take it very seriously because I wasn't suffering enough. I wasn't suffering. But when I was suffering and scared, that's when I really listen.
Beautiful. Now,
did that answer your question? Because
yes,
I talk
yes,
a lot, and I go every which way.
Yeah, no, that was a powerful explanation. Absolutely. Now, tell us about your business. Tell us about the impact you're having in the world now and beyond.
Well, I put out a book 2 years ago, and wouldn't you know, me and my editor together overlooked the fact that we forgot to put the section on the yin yang in the book, which is the number one key to people really understanding the difference of genital sex and this circular energy sex, and how important it is, and how it's part of the universe and part of us. So I haven't been pushing the marketing of that book in 2 years. And I'm almost done with the second edition, and I've been almost done with it for months now.
Good.
So I have a book, and I really want people to get into classes with me, get personal one-on-one coaching. If you're single, you can do it. If you can learn for yourself and know how to do it when you get that, when you start dating somebody, or there's somebody special you want to give a really deep hug to, you could do that. And I'll give you all the support you need to do it well. You can get the pictures from the book. If you want a Kindle book, it's $3, I think. And the other version is $20.
What is it called?
You have to type in Cosmic Kari Star. And it's because that's the way my editor and I did it. We called it Cosmic Kari Star's Great Circle of Desire. So Amazon will not bring it up unless you type the name in first. So Cosmic, Karistar, will bring it up.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes, and the next edition will be out very soon. And I'm putting together classes. I have a Facebook page, and it is full of 13 years of amazing posts and stories and other people's work and beautiful art and just kind of going through all the sexual topics, So that's at facebook.com/Cosmic Kari Star, Karistar.
Beautiful. How big is your Facebook group?
Oh gosh, around 20,000. It used to be about 23,000, but I think people are dropping off Facebook.
Whoa.
And you know what? I went through some periods of being upset because Facebook knocked me off so many times for talking about sex. When I started, they took all my money whenever I wanted to promote posts and stuff. They took all my money. Sure. Then all of a sudden they decided it wasn't okay. And they shut me down, kicked me off, told me I couldn't do this, couldn't do that. I tried to meet their expectations and they were crazy. They said, we're not going to advertise you because you're suggesting that people aren't okay without relationships.
Ridiculous.
Like what? Yeah, it's nuts. It's quite an agenda.
Wow.
So the point is, I went through months and years, where I was frustrated and upset, and I wasn't going forward with my writing. And boy, did I miss it. And the times that I get back and I'm really engaged, I have so much fun expressing it. But truly, I need to be on the big screen here, on YouTube or on the podcast,
Yeah. So speaking of that, yes, now you're your podcast. How do you see your podcast helping you now to get your message to the world?
Payman, this technique is so mind-boggling. What it does for women, which in turn, what it does for men.
Mm-hmm. What is the best way for you to teach that without getting banned on across all of these platforms?
Oh, you're setting me up for that one. That's a slam dunk.
Yes.
Podcasting does not, what's the word? Take you down?
Yeah.
What's the word? It's slipping my
little
brain.
Shut you down?
It's a simple word for it. Anyways, yeah, podcasting lets you speak. There's freedom of speech in podcasting.
Yes.
I can't say that, say stuff on Facebook and
on YouTube. Yes,
I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to get going. And yeah.
So what kind of people are you going to be interviewing on your podcast?
Anybody that supports couples in having what they need to make relationships work, leading edge stuff. We are all in a generation that needs to clear the trauma from the very dark agendas that we've been living in that have been limiting sexual expression. And it's caused a lot of pain and agony. The fact that women couldn't get their needs heard for so many years, it's caused hell on earth. It's caused the wars that are outside. Mm-hmm. I just want to do a quick comparison. I like to tell the guys, if I was to grab your butt cheeks like this and pull your cock into my mouth, no charge for that porn, how would that feel? And they all go, yeah, I would like that. Yeah, it's obvious. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, yeah. Right. And I said, yeah, the satisfaction and fulfillment you feel from that, that's like a cosmic experience. You can't talk. It's so pleasurable. It's what you live for, And I said, now you do that to the woman. You do that to the woman, and the satisfaction and fulfillment she's going to feel is equivalent to what you feel. It's different, but equivalent.
Sure, absolutely.
What we live for. I say, we want to crawl inside your chest and pitch a tent and live there.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to speak up. And because, listen to this, the men don't receive the fulfillment from the woman because the woman naturally says, thank you, I love you for being a man and desiring her and giving her all she needs to live, to help her life be easier, to help raise the children, to donate the sperm, and she naturally says, thank you, I love you. She cannot reach the heights of what's the word? The heights of almost like worship of the sacred masculine until she's deep in his chest and feels him.
Sure. Wow.
And it's just like, if a man can't get in a woman's vagina, he's not going to reach the heights of
you mentioned
appreciation for a woman.
you mentioned visibility, and now you're also part of a multi-authored book that we both of us together with our good friend and publisher Mary Gooden. So, what are you going to talk in your chapter in that?
I haven't written it yet, but I'm very excited to write it.
Because that's going to give you visibility, because that's going to be quite popular. Absolutely. The book is going to be a #1 bestseller. I know it. We can all work together towards that, and that's going to allow your message to go viral.
What I want women to know is there's magical, phenomenal pleasure and fulfillment.
Yes.
Doing this technique.
When you write your chapter, don't think too much. Just write it from the heart. Write it from the heart. Write it from the heart. Even as a tip, even if, for example, you don't know what to write, just fire up your Zoom account and start talking for like 5-10 minutes, and then start transcribing that.
Nice. That's a great idea.
This way you can let the ideas freely flow. And then once you've recorded all of that, you can just pause, transcribe, and resume.
Yeah. If people get a whiff of what this is, it's going to catch fire all around the world. I'm not the only one teaching it. Some people teach it under the topic of a hug, a specific embrace, and that's certainly what gets it started. I teach it under the circular energy movement of the yin yang. And that is a Taoist sacred sex principle.
Beautiful. Listen, I love talking to you. We can talk for hours. You love talking. I love talking. But let's start wrapping things up. To finish off, I'd like to ask you a series of rapid fire questions on advices. Ready?
That's so cute.
All right.
So do I win a prize?
Yes. I'll let you know at the end. What's the best advice you've received so far in your life?
What came to me, is before you do anything, get in the vortex. Abraham Hicks.
Oh, yes. Love that. What would you say has been, on the other hand, the worst piece of advice you received so far?
The worst. What came up was go ahead and nap a lot during COVID. I still haven't gotten over that.
Yes. Now, imagine that you were blessed with a time machine and you can go back in time and sit face to face with an 18-year-old Karen. What's the #1 piece of advice you would give to her, knowing all that you know now?
I've thought about that one before. And you know what? I got kicked out of England. I was going to go hitchhike all over. And but I wouldn't say go back and make it work, because Spirit took me on a path that led me where I am now. I went back. Anyways, I won't get into that. Say the question again. Advice for an 18-year-old.
So if you were to sit face to face with an 18-year-old self, what's the #1 piece of advice you would give to her, knowing all that you know now?
I might say go to Overeaters Anonymous. I was afraid. I was bulimic for several years. I had a lot of emotional stuffing I was doing between the age 20 and 25. Oh my gosh, what a mess I was. Terrible, terrible mess.
Okay.
So of course it would have changed my life, but if I was afraid to go, it didn't feel good thinking that I had to go, that I needed to go. I had another friend who was beautiful and slender and bulimic, and she went and it changed her life, and I just never went. So I didn't create good patterns to overcome, to understand my emotions more.
Okay.
So I would have done that.
Awesome. Now that you have your podcast, imagine that you were interviewing the most special person in your world, which is yourself. What's the first question that you want to ask yourself?
Oh my goodness. I'm interviewing myself.
Yes.
What's the first question? First question I would ask myself?
The most burning question you want to ask yourself?
Well, what came up is, what is the most glorious experience of your life?
And what's the answer?
Well, I had a boyfriend that convinced me to do ayahuasca 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And I asked ayahuasca to teach me about the sacred design of ecstasy in the human body. Whoa. And the first time out with the ayahuasca, I did it 30 times with him in a year. And I had the same question every single time. Teach me more, because I'm going to give it to the world. So the most glorious moment is the rapture. The rapture is when you realize you are all of it. Everyone is all of it. Everything is all of it. We are that great divine being that we imagine is controlling everything, creating everything. We are that being. And we are here having a human experience, which a lot of people parrot these days from Wayne Dyer and several sources. You know, when I learned that, nobody had said we are God. Nobody. And I was chomping at the bit because I wanted to tell everybody what I'd learned from ayahuasca. The rapture is when you go back when you go back to your source and realize you are the source. Everybody's the source. And we're not this little puny human cut off mortal experience. And so we don't have to wait till we die anymore to have that. Oh my God. I wrote my first 3 experiences. I haven't published them yet, but all that information is on my Facebook page, you guys. You go back through the years, you could find it. So, Oh my God, the day you become God, wow.
Beautiful. That's powerful. I'm actually considering doing that myself because I've always been fascinated by that kind of thing, especially ayahuasca. So when I will talk to you later another time to tell me more about that, because that's something we can do an entire episode just on that, on ayahuasca and the effect of
so
that.
Much.
Yes.
I would love that. I see now that, I was thinking I'm going to put this on Facebook. I'm going to put this on my YouTube, but I can't because we talked so much about sexual things. I don't think it would fly. So the podcast is it, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Good
stuff. All right. So now the last question I will ask you, and that's my favorite question. What is the smallest thing you've done that has had the greatest positive impact in your life? By small, I don't mean something small. I mean the one thing. For me, for example, it's been starting my podcast. What about you?
Ooh, small?
What is the smallest thing that you've done in your life that has had the greatest positive impact?
Oh my gosh.
And again, it's not small by size, but small by one thing. The one thing you've done that has had the greatest impact, positive impact in your life.
Wow, that's swarming, but I'm going to say what came up. This morning I was laying in bed and I was doing those Kegel things. You squeeze the pelvic floor and it sends a jolt of energy up your body. And then I started, it sent massive energy through me, and I haven't exercised in like 2 months. Massive energy went through me and I started breathing deep. I'm going to say I've avoided learning and practicing deep breathing all my life, but oh my God, it is the thing. And that's simple, right? Breathing.
We do that all the time.
Breathing the energy up into your heart. I started feeling it rise this morning and I was like, oh my God, all that depression about, I don't want to get out of bed. My heart started filling with joy. And I was like, oh my God. I talked to a friend. I jumped out of bed. We were having fun, drinking coffee together, breathing. That's simple enough, huh?
Beautiful. Thank you. Absolutely. Listen, Karen, absolute pleasure talking to you now. If someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Right now, I would say Facebook. Do you want an email address or a phone number?
Share whatever you want to share now, and then after you can send them to me on Messenger, and I'll put it in the show notes So whatever, if you have a website, a Facebook group, email.
Right now, I've just got the Facebook group that's very active, and I always answer
What is the name of your Facebook group?
Let's see. Okay, well, my page is it's long. No, but it's the one that you just type in Cosmic Kari Star on Facebook.
You can send me
and
after.
DM me. Is that what we're calling it now? DM, direct message, or IM, instant messenger?
Private message, DM, whatever, same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the name of your What's the name of your podcast?
It is Sexual Miracle for Couples.
Beautiful. I'll put
this thing is a miracle, folks. Don't miss it.
Yes, absolutely. I'll put it in the show notes. So listen, Karen, absolutely wonderful talking to you. I love your energy, everything you're doing, the impact you're having. I salute you. You're a true leader with a heart. Stay safe, stay awesome. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world. Keep making the world happy. And I'll definitely be talking to you soon. So have a wonderful day, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.